2024 was another fun year of anime. It didn't quite hit the peak left by 2023, but it definitely had a lot of highlights to remember. A bunch of great movies came out, The Boy and the Heron won Best Animated Picture, and hey, we finally hit 500 subs! Thanks everyone. But it's time once again to list my favorite shows of the year. This was a really tough one to make since I overthink stuff a lot, but I hope you enjoyed the rundown, even if we might have different favorites. And if you're looking for Frieren or Apothecary Diaries, those are back in the 2023 video. By the way, if you enjoy this, please consider hitting subscribe and all that jazz. Anyway, it's almost February, so let's get right to it. While I wasn't expecting a lot from this show, the introduction to Sung Jin-woo and the way he got his powers was enough to hook me. It's a great way to do the weak character turns OP trope. While there were complaints of not living up to the webcomic, for the most part, I think it delivers on the power fantasy aspect, considering the overabundance of the genre. Really great fights, cool power system that can stand on its own, added mystery to the protag after some wild moments that really caught me by surprise, and a wicked soundtrack. Can really tell why the manhwa is so beloved, so let's hope they can continue doing it justice. I know a bunch of people strayed away from this show because of the damn meme that was everywhere, but if you did skip it, you missed some of the most gorgeous animation from last year. Cloverworks elevated the source material with breathtaking fights and sequences packed with great choreography, vibrant colors, and sudden changes in style that help carry the simple but fun story and characters in this loosely history anime. I really enjoyed the protag's growth, and how he uses his weakness as his strength, the battles, his relationship with his goofy but cool team, and again, the great action sequences and dramatic moments that really blew me away. Apart from the awesome opening and ending. Had a lot of fun and can't wait for it to continue. It's no secret that I'm a big Bocchi the Rock fan. I mean, come on. And when I found this other show about girls forming a band, I knew it had to be something special to stand a chance for me, and that it was. Either it was the spunky, fun, and overly emotional Nina, the rest of the charismatic girls, the awesome songs that I still randomly listen to, or the absolutely amazing 3D animation filled with so much personality and life. Even if the story is the quintessential beginning to an indie band, the interactions and dialogue just work so well in introducing you to each of these girls, put you in their headspace, and live their past traumas. You feel their growth and them harmonizing into this unit in a realistic but still fun way. Just a great emotional and exciting journey. So glad this got more widely discovered as the year went by. Hope you give it a shot too. I know I might catch some flack for this one, but I loved this season of My Hero. A lot of people really started to meme on the show or plain hate it, which to be fair, season 5 was a low point, and part of the fandom does not help. But I never really stopped watching and I still enjoyed it. Again, there have been issues, but season 6 and especially season 7 have felt like the resurgence this show needed. Bones putting its all into animating these great moments of development and closure to a lot of these characters and arcs. Maybe not as polished as other big shonen right now, but it's hard to emulate the feels and vibe My Hero exudes when that hype moment hits from all these storylines clashing perfectly. Like, come on, the Todoroki storyline, Uraraka and Toga, Deku's growth, and even Gentle Criminal. That was hype as hell. One of the shows that engrossed me in anime, and I'm not ready for it to go just yet. Talk about an undiscovered gem. Coming out just between spring and summer was this masterpiece of a show focused on an alien invasion, but moreover on how our society might react to it. Social media going crazy, the difference in priorities, true colors coming out, panic, or in the face of uncertainty, aimlessly moving on with the daily grind. And having these pair of wacky and cynical teenagers as the focus was the perfect way to center all of it. The quirky designs and weird dialogue at the start might stop you, but this gave me some of the most shock-inducing moments of any show all year. And it's that same quirkiness that gave us a lot of original concepts and ideas you usually don't see, but no holding back whatsoever in the parallels to real life and the many issues we're currently having. While I do wish the ending was a bit more solid, it's still an underrated sci-fi gem that had me glued to the screen, nervously anticipating what came next. After the clunky Megumin prequel, I was sort of worried what would happen with the new season of Konosuba, but almost 5 years after the movie, it was just as insane, unhinged, and hilarious as it ever was. Taking a bit more of a focus into darkness again, but able to put Kazuma, Aqua, and the rest of the cast in perfect scenarios to keep me laughing over and over. I pretty much binged the whole season in a day, so it was that good to have it back. Visually great, perfect gags, just hilarious. Still one of the funniest anime out there. Pretty big rom-com fan, and like I've said before, I absolutely love Blue Box. A lot of romance shows try too hard to stand out by adding random things to the formula, and while yes, this story has the sports aspect, it nails both sides. It's a simple love triangle, but it's one of the best I've seen, thanks to the really likable characters, letting their situations, goals, and failures stand out, just so the tension and little moments hit harder, and easily gets me to kick my feet in the air while cheering at the TV. Even if the end result seems obvious, it's still been an emotional roller coaster. And to reiterate, the sports part is also really well explored. Really pumps you up seeing this cast give it their all, and everything packaged neatly with beautiful visuals, gorgeous lighting, and backgrounds. And again, everyone in the cast is great. Just an all-around excellent rom-com that delivers on every keynote. In a bit of a more out there approach to the genre, Maki Inu's idea of putting a spotlight to the girls who end up as the losers in the dreaded love game was absolute genius. Really helped that the three we got to explore were so different from each other and so enjoyable to watch. It portrays the feelings of someone who goes to the extent of confessing just to get denied way too accurately. The quiet acceptance, the sad realization, and even the hilarious, cringy desperation. And our main guy Kazuhiko being that shoulder to cry on is the perfect anchor to it all. Filled with a mostly fun cast, with a nice visual style that allows everything from great gags to the tear-jerking emotional moments, and backed up by beautiful music. Not a huge fan of the random bombs of fan service, but overall a great concept executed perfectly. In such a good year for rom-coms, I'm pleasantly surprised to say that the second season of Dangers in My Heart was my favorite. I've said it before, but the complete 180 I had with this show is nuts. From almost dropping it in the first episodes due to some of the cringy aspects, to absolutely losing it in that finale. While I do wish some of the things were toned down and to have Adachi screw off, the chemistry and build-up to Yamada and Ichikawa's relationship is so damn good. It's such a wholesome path for them to discover their feelings and actually grow as characters. Ichikawa especially makes me happy thinking how much he changed. Moments filled with tension, drama, and joy that had me gushing over. Even if I don't always vibe with the sidecast, these two are enough to carry the show. And like I said, the end of the season just nails it, and is one of my favorite moments of the year. Just an absolute triumph in how to portray this kind of romance. 3 years since Season 2 came out, and Re:Zero came back swinging. While the prior arc focused on developing this big cast of characters, Season 3 brings almost everyone together in this central location and absolutely goes for broke in creating chaos and testing our heroes once again. The first freaking episode was 1 hour and a half long, which flew by, and it perfectly pinpointed where we are in the story, then delivers that freaking serious scene that left me speechless. And it didn't stop upping the stakes, bringing the pain, and really making Subaru work for it. It kinda felt like Season 1 again, but the added depth and lore from Season 2 just helped in engrossing me even more, getting me on edge with what would happen next. One of the best isekais out there. And we're only 8 episodes in, so I can't wait for this to continue taking us on a ride. Oshinoko continues to blow me away. After a crazy and emotional first season, the revolving theater arc just goes full swing from the beginning, and it takes an interesting way of presenting it, slowly giving us a rundown on how this art form works, while still giving us that incredible character drama that only this show and its cast can give. Just the climax in this awesome stage play, filled with amazing moments that really had me popping off. Like, I'd love to go to one of these in real life. And what happened afterwards, continuing with the plot, and exploring Ruby's side of the story was just the cherry on top. Not to mention Toga Kobo keeps nailing the visuals that really help elevate the spectacle, and just leaves me waiting for Season 3 to come out soon. Working on this channel really opened my eyes to how the anime catalog is overflowing with shows with very similar plots or genres, so I can't describe just how locked in I was when I first saw Orb. Taking the vast history of events that took place to disprove the general idea that the Earth isn't the center of everything, defying God and the Church in the Inquisition years just to try and seek the truth of the cosmos, either for knowledge, for spiritual meaning, or for the fame and recognition. The obvious comparison is Vinland Saga, but not only visually or for the historic aspect, but for how similar they are in exploring their characters, their ideals and beliefs, and how much they're willing to risk and sacrifice to reach their goals, to reveal this mystery, or to live peacefully, but always knowing that you were the potential key to changing the world. Gruesome, gritty, hard to watch, but also enlightening, hopeful, deep, and beautiful, in terms of both the message and great visuals, especially for the night sky, along with characters you really want to explore and make you hope they can somehow beat the odds. Just a captivating journey that has me at the edge of my seat, and I really hope that it gets more attention. Arguably the most popular show this year, but not just in the anime community. People outside the weeb spectrum were following along too. Saw so many memes and reactions from friends who usually don't watch anime really vibing to this insane premise of a show. Dandadan's way of mixing the sci-fi theme with Momo and Okarun's hilariously cute relationship just slaps so hard. And it doesn't stop there, adding amazing fights, filled with inventive concepts that dig on the huge potential the aliens or ghost theme can give you, a great overall cast, both in the good guys and the baddies we see, and so much more. What stops me from putting this at number 1 is just a few hiccups. Like I felt the battle in episode 8 and 9 was a bit too overwhelming, and man am I not a fan of Jin right now, even though I know they'll probably change my mind later. And compared to my first pick, this only being one core limits the impact, so to say. But regardless of that, it's so easy to fall for this show. And I've said it before, but Science Saru was the perfect match for this, really putting its all in portraying this right, from the simple conversations, to the explosive fights tinged with different colors, lighting, and styles, and to the most emotional episode of the year in episode 7, that really showed the potential this series has. It helped elevate anime, it entertained from start to finish, it got us cheering for these quirky lovable teens, and vibing to the amazing opening and ending with Turbo Granny. Now we just gotta wait till summer for even more goodness. And before I get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions, and a quick rundown on what number 15 to number 20 would have been. Was gonna start with this, but apart from time constraints, didn't want to begin the video with a rant on what happened in Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku still did what it does best. Amazing world building, lots of interesting characters, and especially this part of season 2 stepping it up plot-wise, all culminating in that ironic Father's Day episode. This could have landed easily in my top 10, but then we get the aftermath, and let's just say I wasn't happy with some choices made, and the lack of retribution, more or less. Won't go into it, but I was screaming at my TV. But problems and all, I still have to get props. Next would be Wistoria, which I have to reiterate how good the animation and lip syncing was. A fun, simple concept with a detailed world and a good cast. Kaiju number 8 was also fun. It is another one where the weak protag gets the power of the enemy and uses it for good, but the good characters, great animation, and gags help the simple story stand out. A Sign of Affection was a very cute and chill rom-com with visuals and expressions that worked really well. Windbreaker was a great take on the delinquent genre, with a funny tsundere protag and a bunch of cool dudes, with great fights, jokes, and a visual style I really dig. And Seven Time Loop became my favorite villainous anime so far, with such a great main girl and premise. Brave Bang Braeburn was campy and hilarious as hell, Days with My Stepsister was the biggest surprise for me, and a bunch more that also deserve some love. After the fantasy masterpiece we got last year in Frieren, seeing this anime have to make its mark right after felt like a crutch. But Dungeon Meshi excelled in doing its own take on the genre perfectly. My number 1 spot was a tough decision, but one pushing factor was how Delicious in Dungeon absolutely delivered consistently for 2 full cores. 24 episodes of this quirky, unlikely team of adventurers trying to venture down this unassuming dungeon that ends up being filled with so many creative monsters, even breaking down how to catch them, their body parts, and so on. But then we get to exploring what their function is in the dungeon and how they affect other creatures, and you realize how deep and detailed this world is. It's easily one of the most vibrant ecosystems I've seen in anime, and that's not even focusing on the levels, the locations, how the magic works, and how many different kinds of people with different goals and occupations come together in this magical place. With all this, it's even crazier to think that half the year, you couldn't avoid seeing how much the characters influence the community. Laios, Marcil, Senshi, and Chilchuck had the perfect dynamic. So damn fun to watch them get accustomed to this world, to the point of making you worry when the inevitable dark turns started showing, juggling the comedic cooking bits to some serious dramatic moments flawlessly. My absolute respect to Trigger on the amazing visuals, the constant change of style, and use of different methods to deliver on the hilarious gags, thrilling action, and cozy cooking segments, accompanied by a banger soundtrack as well. And the coolest part is that it feels like we're just touching the surface. Tremendous fantasy show that left me hungry for more. And those were my favorite anime of 2024. Thanks so much for watching. I know it's a yearly tradition to be late on this, but January is not a great time to be making videos. But hey, at least we made it. Once again, thanks to everyone who has followed the channel. Really means a lot to have 500 people think that my stuff is worth a damn enough to subscribe. And if you're new here and want to stay up to date on what's next, please feel free to hit the buttons. It really helps the channel stand out. 2025 sure looks crazy, and I might try to do some new stuff to push to 1K, so please bear with me and stay tuned. But for now, it's been Jules, I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you all for the next one.